JCW Lunacy on the air, and right off the bat, we see arriving Jeeves, the first time we've seen him since a beatdown from Vince Russo with the baseball bat, and he's not alone. His cousin, EC3, is here as well, and he looks pissed off.
I got a little surprise for you tonight.
What do you got?
Your boys.
My boys.
Against Willie Mack, Too Tough Tony, JCW Tag Team Title Match.
You know, Vince, I knew you'd come back home one day.
I think you and Caleb should worry about who it is that will be Caleb's opponent.
What was that? Opponents? If I were you, partner, I'd be watching my back tonight.
Oh, no!
Oh, misfire there!
That got pimp slapped into oblivion!
Oh, yeah. Good night, Irene. Good night. Here comes the burning hammer! Yes! Yes!
Yes, Conley! Revives us all week!
Reno!
We have a huge fucking problem. The truck, all the merch, shirts, jerseys, every fucking thing, every bit of it, gone for the rest of the tour. I can't. I don't know.
What do you mean gone? What do you mean gone? Somebody jacked us?
Cocaine goes crazy! Oh, check that out!
Vito, here's your teacher.
Gabo?
Vito.
The power of Willie Mack. Oh, what a throw! Oh, look out! Tony, gonna make the building fall!
Oh, all three men come down hard.
I mean, he's been watching the security cameras as well.
Whoa, Vito making a big line of, oh no! Oh, they're brawling right out here next to us, Joe!
Vito and Violent J are trading hands!
Oh no!
Look out!
Oh, the set's gonna go over!
Oh, they both took each other out of commission!
And now we return you to your regularly scheduled Lunacy and the feature players who are in the main event for now, but not for long, because he's coming next week.
Next week?
Fuck him up, fuck him up. Hit him with a uppercut. I'm from the Fight Club. You know we love the
Who loans your money, homie? Who owes your cash? Who taught you how to use the barn for the grass? I don't know much, but I gotta assume that when you hit your first net, your homies was in. You talking about homies, homies. Talking about the dogs of love. Motherfucking homies, homies. My dog. Talking about homies, homies. Talking about the dogs of love. Homies,
Nasty little crick, I'm from the gutter, born on the echo side. As a child, in the power lines, eating pesticides, fantasize about homicide. Every day I rise, who gon' get it next? I got that list, but though I can't decide. Bullet in your mullet, boy, your body, it ain't hard to hide. Suckers don't stink when you fill them with formaldehyde. Willie was a bigot, but I turned him to a funny guy. No swerve to the side, hair chunks in the sky.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to your Lunacy review show, and it's called Insanity. I am your host, Jimmy T, back after a 2-week hiatus. That's due to personal reasons, but we won't get into that right now. But my co-host, He is Whoop Brandon. Brandon, welcome back to your show, and thank you for covering the last couple of weeks.
Hey, no problem, man. The show must go on. Whoop, and glad to finally have the theatrics back and all the bells and whistles. Whoop, whoop.
Oh, true. That's a good point. I'm just happy to be back, man.
Good to see you again, man.
No, thank you, man. Likewise. But we are here to talk, obviously, about Lunacy. We are live on HMG YouTube channel and, of course, on the Patreon after the fact. But before we do get into any Lunacy, did you hear about the Janelle Grant situation with Vince McMahon?
How it's moving to private arbitration, which is exactly what Vince wanted.
Yeah. Now, does that make her look kind of, I hate to say it, Brandon, but it just comes across like she was after the money all along, dude.
I think it was Stevie Richards who said, or somebody who said, there in this situation, there really are no baby faces. There's really no baby faces here.
That's an understatement, dude. I mean, all that talk of women power, I'm doing it for the women and all that crap that she was saying earlier on, just to me, it just goes right out the window now.
It seemed like they tried to a rally to get public support behind her.
Unbelievable, man. I mean, how do you feel mostly about that before we do get into Lunacy anyway?
First and foremost, if her claims are true, then Vince is just we all know Vince is fucked in the head. I mean, we've seen him project his weird ass shit on TV before. We know the dude's fucked up.
No shit. That's an understatement. I mean, fuck. But it just, I don't know, man. It just feels for me after all that, what was the point? You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know, man. I just find her a big hypocrite now, unfortunately for her. But hey, if that's what she wants, that's what she wants. Labrat says Vince should have just kept paying her. Well, that's true too. If he did, we wouldn't be here. Obviously, like it wouldn't have happened. But thank you for joining us, by the way, Labrat. And Dan Heffron also in the house saying, hey, we got Jimmy T and let's go be in the house. Thank you, man. We're happy to be back in the house. I'm that clown, obviously, Labrat. But anyway, I don't know, man. I'm kind of shocked, but not shocked at the same time. It is what it is. And I guess now it's going to be all private, apparently. And we're not going to even hear anything of it. It's going to be played out to the public.
No public record, like nothing for the
right.
We can look up. It's 100%, sealed cover. Like that's never going to see, like those details are never going to see the light, never seen the light of day.
Unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. But I guess Vince got what he wanted deep down. They're going to settle. That's all we know for sure. We'll see what happens, if there's any more breaking news between now and obviously in the next couple of weeks. But, Brandon, is there any other news? Okay, so what are you going to say?
I would not be surprised if this ends up like once the private arbitration is finished, they reach a settlement. Nothing legal happens to Vince. Just pays an additional settlement. He's free and clear. I would not be shocked. I'll put it this way: I will not be shocked if we see Vince McMahon back in the WWE before 2027.
Funny you bring that up. There's actually rumors of that happening suddenly, and
at least officially back. I still think he's still in my opinion, he technically never left through his proxies like Bruce and Hayes.
Oh, for sure. 100%. I mean, why would they still be like employed by WWE, honestly? When didn't they get rid of, for example, Pritchard years ago?
Yeah, that's actually a Stephanie call. Stephanie got rid of him.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And I could have sworn that Triple H wasn't even the biggest fan of his either, but now suddenly. No. And there's also talk, funny you bring that up about Vince, there's also talk that Triple H doesn't really have as much power as everybody thinks he does.
Right. So all it takes is Mark Shapiro or Ari Emanuel or Nick Khan to be like, nah, we don't agree with that. We're going to change that. And you need to do something different with that because we don't like it.
Do you believe that? Do you think Triple H is pretty much cuffed in many ways?
To the degree of as far as having to listen to his bosses and what they want done, yes. But as far as his creative goes, it's always been terrible.
Yeah, I mean, but see, I don't think Triple H is that terrible though. I think if he actually had proper control, supposedly, Apparently, like he doesn't, for all we know. I don't know how true all that shit is, but if that's the case, I mean, we know deep down he could do a lot better. I mean, look at his NXT days, how good that was. And even when he first kind of took over in WWE, it seemed like everything was all roses, man. Everything seemed good. But unfortunately for him, maybe it's not all as shiny as he wants it to be. And I feel like he gets a lot of stick for no reason in some ways. He's like the fall guy.
Well, and to be fair, he's kind of also making it easy for himself to be the fall guy because he's putting himself out there so much, making himself like the face of everything. It's like, yeah, that's an easy guy to pin it on because he's putting himself out there.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, and if he's happy to do that, we'll see. Lambert says, as TKO, Triple H is just a cuck for the big decisions. Yeah. I mean, it comes across that way, right? He also says, a year from now, Vince will pop up on Raw. Hey, where you been, pal? Everyone will be doing this like idiots.
Like and remember the first time he came back and people were actually holding up their children as he walked by?
And do you remember what he said too? He goes, what's wrong with you people? Like he's all fucking, like he's basically calling everyone weird. And remember, everyone was singing his song too. Like the no chance. And he's just looking at everyone like he's all weird, like completely. Fucking weirdos. Anyway, it is what it is. Todd, what's up, bro? And now Cal said, thank you for both joining us. And we are talking about it as you just tuned in. But anyway, we're not going to get into full-blown news. I just wanted to bring that up. Just wanted to get your thoughts. Unless there's any other important news that we should be talking about. Is anything that I haven't really come across? Because to be honest, I haven't been really looking.
Yeah, the only other thing was the shareholder lawsuit getting settled.
Yeah,
what's trial,
up with that?
Which I gotta believe that's more of a thing of them not wanting a combination of them not wanting certain people to be on public record on the stand during a public trial, and also, you know, the more longer a lawsuit goes, the more money it gets spent. It's actually cheaper to settle in the long run.
Well, that's what they do eventually all the time, WWE. But anyway, Todd brings up, you guys talk about Steve Macklin yet?
That would be that'll actually be more of a discussion for Impact Attack.
Well, yeah, I was going to just say that. So to tune in for that. All I know is, didn't he get fired?
No, he requested his release.
Oh, he requested. Oh, okay. I heard that he got fired, but you tell me otherwise. We're not going to get into that now. Like I said, and like Brandon said, tune into the Impact Attack 9:30 p.m. Eastern on Monday night for Whooper, Brandon, and the Vet, where they will talk about what's going on with Steve Macklin. But so tune in then, Todd. You'll find out then. He says, fair enough. Sorry, man. Sorry to disappoint, bro. Sorry to disappoint. But like I said, trust me, you'll look forward to it on Monday night, man. That's the show where we will talk about it. Well, not me, but the other boys, obviously.
Hey, if you want an invite, just make sure you watch a couple episodes of Drew Carey before stopping in, though.
And that too. I still can't believe you guys reviewed the show. I thought that was a rib, man.
It was legit a rib at first, and then it caught on, and we kept running with it.
That's hilarious, dude. When I tuned in, I was laughing. I'm like, nah, no way they're actually reviewing the show. And to my surprise, they were. I used to love the Drew Carey show just quietly. I was a big fan of it.
It was a great show. It really was a great show. Like basically, you have this Drew Carey, like he's like the core of the solar system, and you have like this like a solar system of great characters that orbit him. They just bounces off of and plays off of. Yeah, no,
he's awesome, man. I mean, the show's not going on anymore, right? It's dead now.
No, yeah, it did. I think it ended in 0405.
Isn't he a host of some game show these days?
Price is Right.
Oh, yeah. I think I've seen it with him fucking hosting it. I used to love The Price is Right, dude.
Yeah, he took over Bob Barker, the late great Bob Barker.
R.I.P. Yeah, he's a legend, absolutely, man. Oh, well, anyway, Brandon, let's get into Lunacy, shall we? Because we came from, what was it? What did Russo call it? Somewhere in Michigan. I forgot the first part.
Michigan.
Bumfuck Michigan. That's right. That makes me laugh, man. And he came out with his bat, you know what I mean? As he comes out to talk, and his jersey, mind you, which means it's trouble. He talks about he telling New Yorkers, as he starts off his little promo, he says they don't represent the honor and respect like them. Russo then calls out Big Vito, And he was talking about, by the way, Jeeves and EC3 about how they don't represent what Itanes represent. So then Big Vito comes out. Russo said they had a rough few months and it was tough love. As Russo says, they are family and blood is thicker than water. Vito agrees and says, let's shake. Then they hug as Russo asks EC3 and Jeeves to come out. And as they do come out, EC3 says, this is about family and Jeeves is his family. He continues on saying Russo hit Jeeves with a bat and says he will rip Russo's dick off and shove it down his throat. That's not nice. Anyway, Russo then goes on.
I can't really judge on there because I may have said that exact phrase during a moment of road rage.
I actually got into a bit of road rage a couple of days ago, but yeah, let's not get started with that because there's some idiots out there on the road. I can only imagine what goes on, man, with you sometimes in St. Louis. But
bro,
is it hectic in St. Louis or what?
No, just people like it's more like I'm gonna do what I want to do, and I don't get. Good luck, everybody else. Fuck you,
man. It gets violent too sometimes, bro. I mean, I've seen some bad fucking incidences over like road rage, which you shouldn't, but it gets there, man. Unfortunately,
no joke. Right hand to God. I had a dude cut me off. I honked and flipped him off. He stops his car, gets out, and comes to my window, and says, "Stick the hand out there now so I can cut it off."
Shit. What'd you say? Did you say anything? You're like, oh shit.
No, here's my thing is like I don't really think that quick on my feet. One thing I suck is that it's being quick on my feet.
You were probably shocked at the time, right?
Yeah, if I'd been I was a little bit shocked. If I'd been thinking, I'd have been like, how about you might want to step back before I take out my my pocket knife and stick a screwdriver in your eye socket, buddy.
Say, I've actually got a fucking something to fucking cut your finger off your dick. But anyway, yeah, no, it's not worth it, man. Some bad shits happen like over road fucking rages, but it is what it is. Todd Browning says, "Get me control your narrative, Jones, pal." Yeah, remember that? Jeez, that was extremely successful. But anyway, Russo continues on in his promo saying that this is everything he was talking about to Violent J. He says EC3 will live up to the main event tonight after spending 3 weeks in Canada. Russo continues on saying that EC3 left Jeeves by himself, so his blood is on EC3's hands. He then goes on to say that EC3 will make up for his 3 weeks off and says he'll be in 3 matches tonight and says good luck. The commentators talk and run down the show as we see Joel Gerner then coming out doing his, well.
Oh,
and he's put on a lot of weight, by the way.
And that wing challenge he talks about, that is a shoot happened. There's footage out there of that. During when he sits down at the commentary table, he talks about the doing the Buffalo Wild Wings Blazing Wing Challenge.
Oh, that was a
shoot. He did it because it's yeah, it's like you go to there, you get their 10 wings of their hottest sauce blazing. You got to eat 10 of them in like 5-6 minutes. He did it in 2:40.
Wow. I mean, I've spoken to Joel Gerner over the years on numerous occasions. I've been friends with him on Facebook for years, man. I've always been a fan of his, especially back in the ECW days. It's cool to see him again now in JCW. I don't know if he's around for the long haul. I hope he is. I should actually ask him. I don't know if he'll tell me. But, yeah, he's gained. Man, he lost a lot of weight at one point. He's gained a lot of weight again. He's bigger than ever, man. So I'm like, damn. If he's loving his hot wings at the moment, I can see why. But I love Joel, man. He's a lot. As a person, he's not what you see on TV like most wrestlers aren't, But he's a cool dude, man. Top guy, and I'm just glad that he's back on television, even if it's on YouTube. So I'm just happy to see him. But yeah, he's on commentary. Well, sort of. He says he's been a juggler since '97. As Joel sits down with the announcers and says he was riding with the office after the show a few weeks ago, and he talks about eating wings, as you said, Brandon, in record time at a restaurant. He says he's now officially the ICP chicken hunting champion, as he goes on to say his mystery man isn't just coming anymore, but has come. And then he leaves. Every time he talks like that, you always think it's going to lead to something, if you get my drift. And the way he says it, he's just a dirty fuck. But it's cool. He's a character. And then he leaves after putting down the commentating team, which is pretty funny to see. And that leads us to the first matchup It is J Rod versus Sophia Rose, it's a non-title match though, right?
Yeah, because Danny Mo she currently has possession of the belt right now.
Right, exactly. We see her, she comes onto commentary, and she's holding J Rod's belt. Now, did I miss something? Is she a heel now?
I think it's kind of one of those things that's kind of left up in the air for you to decide, because like they're kind of holding back on her motivation. Like she's definitely acting heelish, but not being like forthcoming on her motivations on why she's doing what she's doing.
Well, she came across as heelish, and I don't know. To me, she seemed completely different. I didn't watch the last couple of weeks, so I don't know if I missed anything in particular. But out of nowhere, she just seems like a complete different woman.
Well, what it is, the story of the child is like she's like on this like life discovery journey. And part of it is having to have that belt, and that's a part of it. And all she keeps saying is this is important to me. You don't understand, you don't get it, and just being kind of vague about it.
Interesting. Well, she definitely gives me those vibes. We'll see where they're going with that, obviously, down the road. Interesting. T.N. Cooper says Big Vito was on Memphis Wrestling this week's episode. Oh, cool. I never noticed that. I have been checking out Memphis Wrestling here and there. And Dan says, spoiler, the mystery man was still a mystery after he was revealed. I agree. I didn't have a clue who he was. I had to ask Brandon about certain things. We'll get to that when we do. But he looks good. That's all I'm going to say. I actually think he looks really good. And Brandon came up with an interesting comparison. I'm surprised no one's actually said anything in the chat yet, but we'll get there. But anyway, back to the women's match between J-Rod and Sophia Rose. This is a pretty quick match, I'd say. I mean, felt like it was about 2 minutes. But anyway, she basically pulls on her, and what? Basically, we got a brass knuckles. She pulls out brass knuckles and knocks and pins her. But there's not much really to say other than it was a pretty short match and not much else, Brandon.
Yeah, more kind of like, I guess it's more just, keep the Danny Mo stuff going, and also at least give Sophia Rose a win, which again, I do kind of question them, the pinning the champion, but at the same time.
Well, it was brass knuckles.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair.
Yeah, so I'm wondering, do they not have any, I have to guess, I guess they didn't have enough women on the roster for this show.
Yeah, what's going on with Hollywood Haley J right now, man? Is she just doing the slap thing? I mean, she hasn't been around in a while unless I've missed something. It just seems like...
Yeah, she has been, her absence has been noticeable.
Like, really noticeable, man. And right now, like you said, it seems like a revolving 3 women sort of thing. And this week, we've pretty much had another 3 women. It's like it's always 3 women and different sort of like it could be Danny Mo, Crowley, and say J-Rod one week, and then this week we got Danny Mo, J-Rod, and Sophia, right? So it's always like a revolving 3 women sort of thing every week.
Right. I was going to think, and Todd brought up a good one, Giselle Shaw, but Giselle Shaw's been presented as a babyface, so that wouldn't have worked here for that.
Wait.
Giselle
debut?
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did a 2 out of a 3-week thing where Giselle ended up winning a contract.
Really? Okay, interesting. And well, we didn't see her this week, obviously, but okay, interesting. And they've apparently signed her.
Well, at least in storyline.
The Hammer's in the house. What's up, Hammer? Thank you for joining us, bro. Nelson Kelso says it does kind of stink how sometimes are in big storylines and then disappear. That's true, man. We've said that before.
That's part of the whole not having people under contract, independent contractor type deal. If you can't if you're not able to lock down people to committed, dates for this period of time, then yeah, you kind of got to figure out a way to work around that.
Yeah, they should know ahead of time what's going on, right? You think?
Well, Russo's actually talked about the process. Like I was listening to what was it? The 3 brand today. And he was talking about how there'd be instances where Jay would tell, or Vine Jay would say, okay, here's the roster we have for this show, on this, on this, this go around. and then he'd start writing the shows, and then Jay would call him saying, "Hey, these guys can't make it, so he's got to go back through and rewrite it and redo it over again."
Damn, that sucks. That would be frustrating, actually, dude. Like if he had to do that, and even if he doesn't know exactly what's going on, that would be very frustrating. Because how do you like book ahead? You know,
It's unless you like know who you have and when, it's very difficult to do that.
do you think the blame would be sitting more on, say, Vol and Jay?
I really don't think there's anyone you can lay any blame on. It's because with just how many moving parts there are, it's easy for stuff like that to fall through the cracks.
Hard subject to change, always for wrestling. You know what's funny? They don't really say
The
that on
four
here, though.
greatest words in wrestling right there. Card subject to change, because that covers your ass so many ways.
Yeah, but do you really see it advertised in JCW? I haven't really noticed it.
I have not either. It's just like, okay, JCW Lunacy is coming to this, we're coming here this date. And we have, and this is our list of stars.
Yeah.
We're not saying who's going to be there. It's just saying, okay, we're coming here, and here's the stars that we have.
Right. And sometimes I don't actually mind that, just because, it's kind of, you don't know what you're going to get. For the most part, you do get the usuals, though. I will say that. I don't want to make it sound like every week is a whole different roster, because it's not. But like, what's going on with Mr. Anderson, for example, now?
From what I understand, they had to take the belt off him because he was running into like booking issues. Like he just could not make the tapings. So they had to take the belt off him. And also on a recent show, Russo explained that cocaine is kind of like he's actually more of like a placeholder, like a guy to kind of carry the belt until the guy they want as champion the time is right for him to have the belt.
Are you serious? And they said that publicly?
I mean, he did say it on one of the shows that I listened to today.
I wouldn't say that publicly, man, because that's not cool for cocaine, basically. I mean, how would you feel if you were cocaine and you got, and you heard that? Just say.
I'd be like, again, this is just me. This is me. Hey, at least they picked me to be the guy to carry it until it's time, for that spot. So that means they trust me to some degree. If they're going to put a belt on me just to be a placeholder for, at least it's, some sort of trust and, faith in me.
Yeah, absolutely. Mantis Tubogan, or Bogon, however you want to pronounce it, says, also can't imagine JCW is paying them enough to get by. I'm sure they get something, but it does seem to be a small organization, so scheduling has to be rough. I mean, yeah, look, I don't know what their pay is like. I would imagine, what's a fair pay for something like JCW, you think, Brandon? If you had to put like a figure, if you had to guess the figure, that's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one because I'm not sure what their budget is. I know they work on a budget. Oof.
Like just a rough estimate, if you had to guess, and basically, and take this with a grain of salt. We're not saying we know, because we don't. We're just throwing it out there.
Yeah, depending. I'm guessing just based on like the names that are on there. I think it'd be like a sliding scale, but like I think the absolute lowest, I think got to be $100 per shot.
You think, the lowest you're talking about, right?
Yeah, lowest $100 per shot.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm thinking the higher sort of end of the card.
Probably $1,000.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Probably about $1,000 for highest.
That's exactly what I was going to say. You took the words out of my mouth. That's exactly what I was going to say. Like I think,
like for Nick Nemeth.
Right, absolutely. And you would pay him $1,000, say, for the appearance. So I reckon, like you said,
right, because like a Nick Nemeth knows, like, okay, take $1,000 for the appearance, make money in merch and autographs and pictures.
Yeah, and $1,000's $1,000, man, for one fucking night. I mean, shit, come on, you know what I mean? I'd be happy with that. Like, yeah, I'd wrestle for $1,000. If you want to pay me $1,000 every week, I would even consider being around every week. But it depends also who you are. If you come from getting paid like over $1 million a year, and then going down to $1,000 a night, that's still decent money. But some guys might be like, ooh,
Well, it also helps with, at least in Nick Nemeth's case, it also helps him. He's also signed to TNA.
That's true too.
Where he can do the monthly or like bi-weekly or bi-monthly tapings, and then work indies and make his money, outside there too, make his money there.
Yeah, for sure. Jimmy T versus Jeff Lane, JC Double Strangle Mania. Let's go. Yeah. He also says, Manta says, I'm not complaining. I'm trying to give them all grace. No, no one's complaining. We're just putting it out there. I'm sure, look, it's the biggest independent promotion. It's in the top 3, I think, top 4 in terms of indies, maybe like between top 5 to be realistic.
I would say it's them, MLW, and GCW.
They're definitely the big 3 for sure. Like in the US, 100%, like 100%.
And then in Canada, you can say Maple Leaf Pro. In Mexico, CMLL.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't even consider CMLL totally indie, but
To be fair, they're actually in Mexico, they're kind of like if WCW and WWF are still around, or if there's still like the war going on, that'd be CMLL and AAA in Mexico right now.
Yeah. Do you watch CMLL at all? Nah.
Nah, I just do not have the time.
Yeah, I know. Like we want to watch more wrestling, right? But anyway, after the women's match, by the way, I forgot to mention that Danny May runs after Jay and chases her, and Jay chases her, sorry. But then we see the outbreak and Barnabas talk in the back. Barnabas says he figured out who the drug dealer was and says the mystery will be revealed. He says this addiction will come to an end before the end of the show. Well, all we know is, it's a blue hoodie guy, but we'll get to that. Then we see Vince Russo and Violent J talk in the back as Violent J complains to Russo about doing business with Vito again. He asks what is wrong with him. Russo says he's cleaning up Violent J's EC3 mess that he created. And then Violent J says that they haven't seen Ruffo the Clown in over a month and don't know if he's dead or alive.
And I love how Russo tries to sidestep this, like,
yeah,
that's Vito. That's your issue. I got nothing to do with this. That's nothing. My hands are clean. I got nothing to do. That's y'all's issue. I did not say. I had nothing to do with this. It's kind of like one of those things like Vito or Russo knows like how nasty and dirty Vito will get. Is like I want nothing to do with this. I want that part of it. My hands are clean. I want nothing to. I'm out.
And shout outs to Big Vito. Actually, he's who's partying up with our very own Big Ray Hernandez, who, mind you, it's him and his wife's anniversary. So happy anniversary to you and Jen, Ray, if you're listening, man. But yeah, they're all together right now in Florida, partying up.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Ray and Vito have been friends for years.
Oh, yeah, years. They're very close, man. They're always, their families are always getting together and doing good things. If you see the pictures on Ray's site, it looks like they're having quite a good time, man. That's for sure. I find it quite interesting. But yeah, Ray absolutely talks up Vito, man. He loves Vito, and of course, Vito is the man. I don't want to blow his cover, because he's really a dick in JCW, right? So, but yeah,
wipe that shit off your face. Oh God, what did you just say there, bro? When is Ray gonna come in as Vito's? That would be cool. That would actually be cool. Like him calling in, calling some favors from some
Puerto Rican sort of
family, some distant family.
Yeah, we call him like Ray. What can we call him? Instead of Hernandez, it's we got to come up with something Italian, but that would be cool, man.
Big Ray Hernandano.
Hernandano. I like that. Actually sounds good. I was trying to think of how would I put it.
Dude, I got
his last name, but yeah, you said it.
I'm not sure who the wrestler is who's playing Sally Boy, but I can't help but think that he's like a Latino pretending to be Mexican. Like he's trying to he's speaking Spanish, but then adding like Italian stuff at the end to make it sound Italian. That's the vibe I'm getting.
That'll be hilarious. I hope that happens. That's a good. I never thought about that, but that'd be cool.
It would not be the first time we've seen that done in wrestling. I mean, we've seen an Italian portray an Arab.
Yeah, always.
We've seen an Arab portray a Cuban. So come on.
It's wrestling, man. It's pro wrestling. It happens. Like I've even known non-Greeks portraying Greeks, and I was so disappointed. I'm talking about in the indie scene, especially. I was like, really? I won't say the name, but there's a couple of them out there. But anyway, but that leads us to this, which was interesting because as Vince Russo and Yvonne and Jay were talking, and to take it up with Vito, we see Father Bronson talks before his match and says he sees a bunch of people, and this is with EC3, by the way, a bunch of people that want some red love. He says he's referring to people who haven't stepped into a gym in some time. He says they have a legend named the Batman here who makes Fago hot dogs. He then says that the Batman is poisoning them with Fago while they are overweight. He goes on to say he forgives the people though and gives the ref a rose to give to EC3. He's got his back turned to him, and then hands the rose, and then we go off to the match. Interesting matchup. I was surprised by this match. For the most part, we see Father Bronson working the leg of EC3 throughout the match, and EC3 gives some jawbreakers and boots him away, and then gives him a lariat, and then we got elbows, and then EC3 says presses him, and then Bron pulls EC3's throat over the top rope, and then springboard flying knee for him for 2, and then EC3 holds him like a DD3 and throws him backwards, but they both end up getting counted out in the end, pretty much.
Yeah, this seemed like a really odd finish. I mean, I get they're trying to protect both guys,
but then I wouldn't have gone with this matchup though. I get why, like they're trying to throw like the big dogs pretty much at him and make it obviously not easy, make it hard for him. But then this is when you're forced to like protect both the guys.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this was like slim pickings of who to put with EC3 tonight. Father Bronson. That's all, and figure out a way to make it work and protect both guys.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the match could have been better, but it wasn't. Look, it was more about the story of EC3 and what he has to go through. Obviously tonight, well, not tonight, but a couple of days ago. Yeah. Then we see that weird Red Love video that plays on the Tron, and then that's when they both got counted out.
Because that's what Red Love is all about.
Yeah, the Red Love. I can't do it properly, but you get my gist.
Dude, I see him being a major star coming up in JC. I could see him being like a top heel champion at some point.
He should be. Of all of them, I'd be really. I mean, they are pushing him, but I would really push him at this point because he's got everything down pat. Even if it's a Bray Wyatt kind of, I want to say, what's the word? I don't want to say rip off.
Production presentation. Like he definitely borrows from Bray Wyatt. Like,
I mean, come on, completely, man. But that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. Sometimes imitation's a good thing, and someone needs to fill that void. That unfortunately for Bray, he's not around anymore, and he's damn. I hate to say it, but his brother couldn't even do it, and I think Red Love's even better than his own brother. So I don't know. That's just me, but we'll see. Yeah, he's got a bright future, that's for sure, man. Definitely. But what do you think of that little video at the end, anyway?
I liked it. Good stuff. I mean, they've kind of scaled back a little bit on some of like that aspect of his character, and I think it's important to kind of go back to and remind us of like why we got hooked on him in the first place and what made him so like diabolical and like intriguing.
He's definitely intriguing, that's for sure. But yeah, it was very interesting. Next, we see Sally Boy talking to Yabo in the back and does Godfather quotes. Yabo says he's no godfather, and Sally tells him to kiss his brass ring. Vito comes in and asks what he's doing. He's pretty much flying off the handle. He says all Sally does is fuck up since he's gotten here. He tells him to stop being a jerk off and tells him to give him his ring back. He says Yabo better smiling up too, or he'll get fucked up even more the next time. He then yells at Vincenzo for not keeping Sally in line as someone knocks on the door, and Vito asks who the fuck is that? And then we go to a break, and in return we see it's Von and Jay.
I do have a little bit of personal story about us being knocking on a door and having that response given to me.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me.
So I think it was This is 08, 09. I was delivering pizza for Pizza Hut. I'll never forget. I knock on an apartment door. So I knock on the door. Who the fuck is it? Pizza Hut, ma'am. Who the fuck ordered pizza?
Are you serious? Sounds like Jim Cornette was ordering pizza. Double cheese.
No, I'll never forget. Like what's up?
Did that really happen?
My right-handed God, that happened.
No shit. What'd you do? What happened?
I just kind of like, as guys at the end of the door, then the woman opens the door. She looks at me like I did something wrong. Why this dude walks up behind her, sheepishly going, He's like,
serious, bro?
Yeah, he's kind of like giggling and laughing at me. He's like, no, I got this. And then he eventually pays me. Exact change, of course.
Not even saves a tight ass, basically, right? Didn't even give you a tip.
Nope, I had to get that kind of treatment just for delivering a pizza and then we get a tip for it.
Wow, that sounds weird, dude. And he just sort of. Do you think they're fucking with you? Do you think it was a rib on you, maybe? Or that legitimately looked weird?
No, I think it was a weird thing where he thought it was funny. I got yelled at because he forgot to tell who's woman or whoever was in the house that he had pizza coming, and then them going off me. I think he thought it was funny. I think that's what happened.
Did they come across as older or kind of younger?
Younger. Probably
that's weird.
30s at latest.
As Josh says, bummer, Brandon.
Hey, we should go sometimes. You see some weird, crazy shit while doing deliveries.
I've never done pizza deliveries before, but sounds kind of interesting.
I'll never forget one. I'll do one story before we go and then we'll keep going back to Lunacy.
No, please, we got time.
There was one time I did a DoorDash drop off. I'll never forget it. I set the food down on the porch. I take the picture, ring the bell. I get in my car. As I'm backing out of the driveway, I see a raccoon run out of a tree, make a beeline through the food, and grab it.
Bro. That sounds like fucking what's that movie with John Candy in it back in the day?
Uncle Buck?
Which one?
Uncle Buck?
No. Oh my god.
Canadian Bacon?
No, keep going. It's old school, but like really old.
Armed and Dangerous?
No. I'll know with the second you say someone say it. Someone in the chat. Because you said raccoons, and I thought of freaking John Candy. Oh my god, what's it called?
Oh, Spaceballs.
No, it's still not it.
Oh, come on, like him as Bar for the makeup.
Nah, fuck. What was it? Someone in the chat would know what I'm talking about, man. Think of raccoons and John Candy back in the day, a long time ago. It was one
Great
of his
Outdoors. Great Outdoors.
Great Outdoors. That's the one. The Great Outdoors, man.
Lab Rat. That was Lab Rat who came up with that. Who said that?
It was it? Oh, yeah, there we go. It just came up for me now. Thank you, Lab Rat. That's exactly what I was talking about. I knew one of you guys would know what I was on about. But all I had to do was just see it or hear it, and I would know exactly what movie it was. But I used to love that movie, but that was a great job, Lab Rat. As Josh says. I knew someone would get it, man, because raccoons and John Candy, you straight away think of The Great Outdoors. Have you seen that movie, by the way?
That's one I've not seen, unfortunately.
Oh my god, dude! If you want to talk about funny, bro, you gotta watch that, man. And yeah, see, I knew someone would know as soon as I mentioned the raccoon, because as Labrat says, as soon as you said raccoon, I knew. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious, dude. Please, when you do one of your watch-alongs, you have to watch it, man. It is one of the funniest John Candy movies. Period. I used to have it on the original VHS back in the day, man. I'm going over 30 years ago. You like the poster? Yeah, man. I mean, it's a classic. R.I.P. to John Candy, man. He's been gone for a long time now, man.
Damn, 32 years. 32
That's crazy,
years.
Bro. Wow.
94 Canadian Bacon was the last movie.
Yeah, well, he liked his bacon a bit too much. I hate to say it, Brandon, but how old was he when he passed away? Was he even in his 50s?
Oh, no, I think it was his 40s.
Yeah, I'm starting to think he was even a lot younger than we think.
44.
Wow.
43. 43.
No. Holy shit, 43.
He was born Halloween 1950, died March 4th, 1994.
Wow. That's crazy, bro. I've outlived him. I'm 43 right now, and I'm born in October. Not Halloween, though, but you know. That's nuts, bro. That is, wow. And it was from a heart attack, right? If I remember correctly.
Fatal heart attack, yep. While filming Wagons East in Durango, Mexico. Fatal heart attack in his sleep.
Damn, dude, that sucks. He looked a lot older than 43, I must say. But
well, that was also the 90s too. Like 43 nowadays looks like you're 30.
Yeah, what's up with that, man? Is it the generations like our generation? It's weird, dude. Because think about even sports like athletes back in the day. They were 30 years old. They look like they were 50, bro.
You know who? You know Finn Balor, right?
Of course.
If you had to look, if you looked at him right now, if you had to take a guess, if you did not know what his age was, take a guess what you think.
I know how old he is, and I know he's in his mid-40s. But yeah, you wouldn't think that. There's no way. Like, it's crazy, man. All my friends are in their mid-40s. There are a couple that probably look a lot older, but even like people when they meet me, they spin out when they're like, I'm like, man, I'm mid-40s. Like, what? I thought you in your 30s. I'm like, thanks. But yeah, as Josh said, 44. Exactly.
Right. And if you told me Finn Balor was 30, I'd believe it.
So would I. Heck, 30 years old, I would literally believe that. Like anywhere between 30 and 33, he could even pass as younger, not 20s. Early 20s, you look like a baby, man. Really.
Right. You still got that bait. Yeah, you still got that. Yeah, and like Labra says, truth has them all beat. Dude's in his mid-50s, looks like he's still in his 30s.
That's crazy, man. Thank you, Nelson Kelso, man. You always give me the thumbs up for what I'm wearing. Actually, quick question. What's going on with the Knicks right now, man, and the Spurs? I actually want to know the scores for the game.
All I know is it's Knicks 3-1, Game 5 tonight, I think.
Yeah, tonight. Isn't it tonight or tomorrow?
Let me check.
Because I think the game started now, like an hour ago even, if I'm right. I could be wrong. But I'm just curious to know what the fuck the scores are, man.
Oh, it's halftime. Halftime. Spurs 42, Knicks 37.
Man, I gotta jump on that once we get off this show.
But we've seen the Knicks overcome 20-point plus deficits in the same
That was
series.
crazy.
So yeah.
Dude, did you watch that game?
I did not, but I read about it. Holy shit.
29 points down, bro. Going into the third still, and they choked the Spurs like big time, bro. Like,
like Andre the Giant grabbing Bob Uecker.
Yeah, bro, I've never seen a comeback like that ever, like in the final series. Actually, it was a record. It was the biggest comeback in playoff history.
Dude, that was like the Music City Miracle.
Dude, I'm telling you, it was nuts just watching it. It was weird. But that's the momentum they got. I'd rather see the Knicks win it in New York City, though, instead of in San Antonio. I wouldn't be surprised if the Spurs do win, but it'd be interesting New York wrap it up tonight, but we'll see. Manta says you guys need to do a John Candy movie watch along stream. But you know what? If we do the Great Outdoors, I'll definitely do that with you, Brandon.
You know what? I might have to schedule a special whenever we can get a schedule worked out, might do a special HMG After Dark for that.
Okay, that sounds interesting. I wonder, I'm sure it'd be out there to watch it, right? I haven't looked around for it for like.
Oh, I'm sure it's probably free on YouTube. In fact, let me look that up real quick.
Yeah, look it up. Just out of curiosity.
It could very easily be free on.
You think so? Well, like Tubi.
Ah, damn! Yeah, it's
what?
It's on YouTube, but you got to buy or rent it.
We'll talk about it later on. I'm sure there's ways that we can get our hands on it. Anyway, yeah, I know for sure that Brett. They're gonna burn the city down, which is stupid. I don't get it, dude. When you win something, I don't know it's been since before we were born that the last time I won.
If you're gonna burn anything down in New York City, go for the mayor's mansion first and make sure he's still inside.
Yeah, well, yeah, but they shouldn't. I don't understand that with like Philly done it when when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, they burnt the freaking city down pretty much when they won their first Super Bowl in a long time. I don't get that shit. You're supposed to not kill your own city, but it is what it is. What's it called? Oh, Nelson Costa says, even Vito too, I want to be cool as him in suits like that when I'm dude, the fact that he's 61 drives me like nuts. I can't get over that he's 61 years old looking as good as he does.
Dude, yeah, we're talking about creepo aging crazily. Vito's 61. If you told me he was 35, I'd believe it.
Man, he doesn't even have wrinkles on his fucking face.
He's good, like no signs of aging at all. Like the dude is a legitimate like Italian fine wine.
It's crazy, man. It's if we age gracefully like he does, I'll be happy. But Josh says New York Knicks fans were beating up Spurs fans. I'm scared. Is that the big fat dude that was getting stomped by a little dude? Because I saw videos of that and I was laughing. There was like a big fat dude, like I guess got dropped by the smaller dude, and all you see is this smaller dude like jump up, does like the coup de grace sort of thing, but not off the top rope, obviously, and just stomping on this freaking fat dude on the floor, on the ground. I'm like, how's that fat dude getting destroyed by this little dude?
I'm sure they probably like, hey, this would be a good thing to put on social media. It'd be funny. A little dude doing a stomp on a fat dude's stomach. I'm sure they probably talk. I would not surprise me if the little dude and the fat dude talked over thought it'd be a good piece of content.
It's fucking crazy, bro. That's because it says, "Oh, the Italian fine wine is good stuff, Brandon." Someone should say that in a promo, like Vinny Roo. Well, if Jeff Laney's listening, maybe he can pass it on. I'm sure he's maybe somewhere here. Yeah, did you see that shit? That was fucking crazy, lad, Brad. Fucking bizarre. Anyway, let's get back to the wrestling, though. We did sidetrack there for a bit, but which is fine. Where were we? I know we're up to the Vito part. I think we see Luigi Primo coming in next after what we're talking about. He walks in and says he watched gangster movies, and he's ready to be made
Vito. Yeah.
And he's ready to be a made guy, Brandon.
What's up?
He's ready to be made a made guy.
All right, you do good tonight. I'll see about making you a made man.
While he's freaking tossing around his pizza dough. Anyway, he wants to be made. He's ready apparently to be made a made man.
And then Yabo being like the straight shooting babyface telling them the truth. Like, dude, they see you as a joke. They see you as a lackey, somebody to control. It's like, nah. Vito got my back. And then once I become a made man, I'm going to have Luigi pizzas all over the world.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, Vito does say fabuloso. And says if he can do something for him, he will think about him. He tells Primo to watch Yabo as Yabo asks Primo for help in finding his brother. Primo says he can't as he's going to be a made man. Yabo tells him, as you said, that he's a joke to them. And Primo says he's no joker. Anyway, great acting over here. That leads us to the handicap match between Chopper City in Bruce Wyans and Akiba versus EC3, which is was it match 2 at this point or 3? Where were we? It was match 2.
Match 2. And actually, we missed Kerry Morton, Shane Mercer.
No. That's oh, wait, maybe I did. How the fuck did I miss that? You're right. It was. How did I jump off? See what happens when we
Yeah, and we also had the Vanishing going into Vito's room. He tries to find the keys to Yabo's cuffs. They don't have them. So
I totally fucked up there because anyway, I got confused with the previous Vito fucking segment.
Oh, it's all good. It's all good. It's easy to get wrapped up in all that. Yeah,
I should highlight where I'm up to every time we go off the subject, sort of thing, so that way I know where I'm up to.
Yeah, and they also had the pre-tape where the Barnabas and the Outbreaker search in the locker room to find the blue hoodie, and they find the blue hoodie in a locker.
Yeah, and well, let's backtrack. Obviously, I'm not going to repeat what I said before though because I already said it. But anyway, like you brought up, and this was after the EC3 Father Bronson match. Where he goes, we see Vol and Jay going into Vito's room and ask Vito where the keys are to Yabo's handcuff. Von J says he knows he can flatten Sally's ass. He asks for Vito's handcuff keys. Vito says he's not getting shit, and he tells Yabo he'll be back to save him, basically. Vito tells him he'll take 2 Big Macs on his way, and then that's when we see
give
Barnabas.
me 2 Big Macs, you motherfucker.
As he walks out, he screams it out. And then we see Barnabas and the Outbreak talk. Barnabas says the dealer wore a blue hoodie, and it has to be one of the boys. He says once he finds it, the mystery ends, as Barnabas says it's time to inspect the locker room and find that hoodie. I did mention earlier, though, about the blue hoodie, to be fair. And I said we'll talk about it later on when we get to it. And here we are. So, yeah, I did skip that, and that leads us to the Kerry Morton Shane Mercer match. And to my surprise, in some ways, but I shouldn't be surprised, Kerry Morton gets the win.
Yep, and from my understanding, they are going forward with the Kerry Morton babyface turn. There's actually an episode of 3 Brand where EC3 and Russo talked about it, where it's kind of like they needed baby faces. The crowd loves Kerry Morton. Even though he's like a dickish heel, he's incredibly charismatic and entertaining, and just great on the mic. And the crowd wants to cheer him, so it's like, well, if we need baby faces, here you go.
Yeah, I mean, and he got a new theme song. Correct me if I'm wrong.
He did. Yeah, tonight he debuted a new theme song.
It's catchy.
Which is say I did like the Southern Six one.
Yeah, me too, man. That's true. But I guess now with this new version of Kerry Morton, I guess it was time for a change, right?
Yep. And I really believe this is where I think they're going. I think this is my prediction. Next week, well, they didn't announce it later in the show, but it's going to be, well, if actually I'll get to that later. Sorry. So let's just say I would not be surprised if we see Kerry Morton as the babyface JCW Lunacy heavyweight champion in the future.
I think it's time to pull the trigger very soon, man.
Right, but the heel is going to be, well, we'll find out who that is later.
Well, yeah, we will. Anyway, so now after we went through that, I did mention we did talk about Barnabas just then, and then that leads us now to the Chopper City match against EC3.
Oh wait, we actually had a couple things too. We had Big Al.
Big Al tells Cocaine in the back, right? You're right. That if he ever needs help with the ring rat again, give her a call.
So obviously it's just nothing romantic there. They're just, they're just friends who got each other's backs.
Oh boy! But did I talk about? No, I didn't talk about now. Sally Boy as well again, as he shows up behind Al and asks if he can help her. He hits on her and she hits him. She tells him to get lost, as Sally says he likes it, and says he likes it when they do it rough. Vaughn J then shows up behind Sally and says he prefers when they are easy, like Sally. He then drops Sally with a kendo stick right to the head. And then Vito talks to Vincenzo and Yabo in the back, and he asks where Sally Boy is. Vin doesn't know, and he's told to go and find him. Vito then says Yabo did a great job on the heist last week. He says he needs him to ride with the team, as Primo walks in and says he watched gangster movies and is ready to be made a made guy. I mentioned that before. I went all over the place, for fuck's sake. But basically he wanted to be made a made guy, and he got told that he was a joke, as I mentioned earlier. And then now we're at the handicap match. Brandon, Jesus, sorry about that, man.
That's all good.
And that leads us to Chopper City against EC3. I mean, shit. I mean, of course, Chopper City were gonna have to get this win, right? I mean, come on, it was a handicap match. It's 2 big dudes.
Yeah, but I like how though they like the way how, at least the way the finish, it was EC3 kind of outsmarting them. Like, okay, chop the city, they throw chops. So get a chair up, block the chop, hit the finish, 1, 2, 3.
Right. And why are these guys always dancing? 2 big black dudes just almost doing the Alex Wright freaking dance. Yeah. I mean, come on, man.
I gotta believe this is something that they came up with. I gotta believe that this is their creation.
Oh, you think so? Like it was Chopper City's creation?
I 100% believe that. This is way too creative and unique for anybody to come up with.
I think because they look like two mean dudes, man, and they're just. I'm not mad at it. I'm not complaining. I just find it weird. That's all. Like I'm funny, but yeah, we'll see where they. I actually do rate them as a tag team, though, and I think they got a bright future.
Oh yeah, I think they're great. I love them. I definitely see them as future like JCW tag team champions for sure.
I even see him doing bigger things also in other promotions, man. In the future.
You know what? I could see them getting signed by TNA or MLW.
Man, don't be surprised even if they go higher than that in the future. Like I don't know how old they are.
Ooh, AEW. How about AEW?
I could see that. That could suit AEW, but WB need freaking tag teams. Do they not? That would be the right place, considering they've got a void when it comes to tag teams.
True, but there's a few they could pull from NXT, but then again, they also leave NXT bare.
Yeah, you don't want to bear them out too
much. Especially after they already just rated NXT of talent the last
That's what
few
I'm saying, right? There's way too many, man. You know, they got rated into the main roster, and they're pretty successful for the most part, in my opinion.
Whoop that trick. Oba.
Oh, bro. Did you watch the Raw this past week anyway? I mean, how over was friggin' Oba, man?
Oba is over.
Oba is over. That was awesome, dude. The way the French crowd were just losing their shit over him, that was pretty cool. But anyway, forget about that for now because afterwards, after the match, we see the back seats beat up Chopper City. Atiba is double stomped on, and then he takes a T gimmick, if you know what I'm saying. Caleb Conley and Russo then talk in the back, and Caleb says, "What's going on is bullshit, and he should be champ." Russo then says Violent J has nothing left for him. He says that Conley went through 3 weeks of hell and he came out strong. Russo then goes on to say that it all ends tonight and they pay his game, which is Caleb versus Cocaine for the JCW World Title. He says he needs to skate by tonight and Cocaine is next. Then again, we see Barnabas and the Outbreaker looking through lockers in the back. The zombies spray themselves with some kind of powder, which was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they find some baby. Yeah, because you know how the baby powder and whatnot.
Right.
They found. So of course they found some someone's locker. It's like, oh, powder, need a fix.
Right. And then Barnabas, funny enough, finds that blue hoodie that he was looking for, as I was alluding to earlier, and he knows who it is apparently.
We'll find out. That's actually the last shot for the show.
Right, and that leads us to the 4 weeks of hell match, which is not the main event, but like we're close to the main event. It is the 4 weeks of hell match between Caleb Conley and a mystery guy, which ends up being Gruel. Speaking of MLW, which was kind of surprising.
Yeah, that's also the same dude who, remember that story that came out about a dude getting stabbed at an independent show by a fan? This was the dude who allegedly got stabbed, but apparently there's no stabbing.
Whoa, wait a minute. So apparently Cruel, who's a big, mean-looking dude, got stabbed at MLW, you say, by a fan.
No, I think it was a GCW show. I think it was a GCW show. Is that Berwyn Hall? Yeah, that was the incident that got Berwyn Hall to ban wrestling from ever being booked there again for even though it's been there for like 20 plus years.
That's crazy. That is weird, man.
Cruel was the wrestler who everybody said got stabbed during this fan the video of all the wrestlers beating the shit out of this fan because they thought he stabbed him, and it turned out to be like a complete fake thing where he didn't get stabbed at all.
That's weird.
He was the dude. No. He was the dude they said got stabbed, but didn't really.
I would have been him, man. The guy, look at him, man. He looks like a machine. I've watched a lot of his MLW stuff. Wasn't he the lead of Contra at one stage too?
I don't remember. I never watched any.
The opposite crew. I can't remember, man. But he looks impressive.
I never watched any MLW, so I can't really comment on that.
I don't blame you. MLW would be so good if their production was just a little bit better. The one thing I can't stand in wrestling, and I'm glad JCW's got this down pat, TNA doesn't, though, unfortunately. I hate loud rings, dude. Over the television, that is.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, dude, SmackDown last night was worse. You could clearly hear SmackDown last night was worse. You could hear this rest, like especially in the women's match. You could hear them calling the spots in the middle of the match.
Oh no, not that shit again. Really? Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Labrat, for confirming that. Was he kicked out of Contra as well? Well, there you go. And Labrat says, yes, he took over the Contra fucking crew after Jacob left, which was a good thing going on there with Contra. You should look, MLW is good, but like I said, I can't stand loud fucking ring. Like, you know, when they're running, you hear pop, 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 like
boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, it annoys the fuck out of me. I don't know why, man. It just takes me out of the show. And TNA's guilty of that. And now you're telling me in SmackDown you could hear Spock. Was the crowd that dead?
That too, yeah. The crowd was pretty dead too during the matches.
So basically, you got me excited to watch SmackDown. I have to watch SmackDown.
I'm sorry.
For this Tuesday, no, don't be sorry.
I thought you'd already seen it. I'm
bad.
sorry.
Is it really that bad though?
It was bad. It was a bad show.
God damn it! All right. Well, good luck to me then.
A few decent parts, but overall bad show.
That sucks. Well, anyway, to my surprise, it was Cruel that came out. But to my even more surprise, how the hell did Caleb Conley get the win? That was a shocker to me, dude.
Yeah,
like how the fuck? I did not expect him to get that win, man. That was a big upset to me.
I think they're putting the belt on Caleb.
Oh well, he's the man.
They're putting the belt. They're putting the belt on Caleb. They're going to make him the heel champion and get so much heat. Here's where I think they're going with Caleb. They're going to put the belt on him, build him up as a top heel champion, and you know what I think is going to be the one who dethrone him and become the top babyface?
I don't know who you're going to say because the history's already there. As in,
Kerry Morton, pal.
Yeah, because they've already got like that story. Like it's long-term, storytelling, pal. If that happens, which it will happen. Yeah, and I'm cool with that. As it should, it should go that way.
And Russo loves both those dudes. Like he loves both Caleb and Kerry.
They're the 1A and 1B of that company, really, man. Let's be honest. I mean, they really are.
You know what? I'll say that they're like the Austin and the Rock of JCW right now.
Right, and they're not obviously Morton's extremely young, still in his 20s, right?
Oh yeah, he's like 26, 27, I want to say.
And then you got Conley, I'm sure he's probably in the 30 range.
Mid 30s, yeah.
He's still got probably another 10 years left, at his prime. Actually, I would be booking the shows around them too anyway, 100%.
Oh shit, he's older than me.
What? Ooh.
He turns 40 August 30th.
Conley?
Yeah.
What the fuck, bro? You know what? Come to think about it, he has been in the business for quite a while. But that's crazy. I didn't think he would be in his 40s. That's nuts.
He dated Daphne at one point.
I think I knew that. I remember him in TNA, and it would have been around that TNA time, right?
No, it's before that.
Even before that. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, the Caleb with the K gimmick. Yeah, that was like 3-4 years ago.
This version of Caleb is so much better anyway than that crap. Let's be real, man. I mean, he's way better here. Josh says, Jimmy, watch Trick Williams' entrance where he interacts with a kid that dressed as Trick. Great moment. I am going to watch it because I have to for this week in WWE, obviously, with myself and R to the B to the V, where we talk all things WWE, of course. So I am going to watch it. I heard someone else mention that too. But isn't he supposed to be a heel? Why is he doing these type of interactions anyway?
I think they're kind of like they try to make Trick a heel, but the crowd loves him so much, and he's so entertaining and charismatic.
Yeah, you know why? Because he's so cool, bro. He's too cool.
He's way
That's
too
the problem.
Cool. Way too cool.
Way too cool.
Can't boo. You cannot boo Trick. He's too cool.
You can't. You have to change the theme song too if you want any chance of booing him. Because that Trick thing as well.
I think keep the theme. Keep the theme.
No,
Whoop
keep the theme.
That Trick.
But that's what I'm saying.
Trick.
You're always going to get that, even if he was trying to be a real full-blown heel, you know? if you want the crowd to boo, that's what I mean by changing the theme. I don't want him to change the theme, but I can see the crowd just booing the shit out of whatever song it is. That's not that, you know. Dan Heffron says, I saw Caleb versus T. Carino in Ring of Honor like 15 years ago. Damn. I remember Caleb in Ring of Honor too, actually. That's where I first saw him, as a matter of fact. I liked Ring of Honor. Obviously, during that time, Ring of Honor was actually quite decent, but he's been around, man. He's been around all over the place. That's for sure. But like I said, I was still surprised that Caleb did get the win over Cruel because Cruel's one big dude. But it makes sense. Cruel's just there for a week. You're not going to really put him over one of your main guys, right?
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, no.
The blast from the past, by the way, was kind of funny seeing Eugene coming out and stuff like that, because I've been seeing a lot of Eugene lately for whatever reason. But anyway, we see Vito talks to his crew once again.
Wait, hang on. We missed. There's a scene in the back. We had Vincenzo filing Sally Boy after the Vanishing attack.
Yeah, he's Sally Boy down in the back. Sally says,
"Don't tell Vito what happened. Don't tell me I got beat up by Violent J. Got beat up by."
Yeah, he begs him. He begged to not tell Vito, and Vince says he really is a fuck up.
Dude, and Vince, how great has Vincenzo been? Like tonight was like the best performance Vincenzo's had in character. And he has and not taking any bumps in the ring, not even wrestling, nothing. Just like this has been like Vincenzo's, or I think the wrestler portraying him, Vinny Massaro, like his best performance so far tonight, or on this last Lunacy.
Yeah, and it's funny because he was begging in Italian too. He's like, "Per favore," like in other words, like please, like don't. Yeah, look, they're funny. I don't know if they're kind of talking stupid sort of Italian, like if that makes sense. Like
it's I'm wondering, are they trying to are they speaking Spanish or trying to make it sound Italian? That's the vibe I'm getting.
Well, Spanish and Italian is actually very similar anyway.
Well, yeah, they're from the same roots. Yeah,
a lot of Italians can understand Spanish and vice versa. It's like, for example, when you said "por favor" in Spanish, it's "por favor," so it's like, you know what I mean? It's very simple. You would understand certain words, like me, even Greek, Italian, Spanish, a lot of it into wines. You know, I can understand certain words, but mainly Italian and Spanish is very, very similar.
Yeah,
they come from the same family anyway. So, but part of me thinks, well, going by D over here, and she's Italian, she was saying like they're talking sort of like, I don't want to say like talking. It's like they're putting on talking like a stupid way of Italian, if that makes any sense. Right? Yeah. She's explaining something. Oh well, whatever. It's just the way they pronounce things, basically. But part of me makes me think: are they doing that on purpose, though? Just to be idiots, you know, or they don't really know how to speak it properly, and that's just how they speak it. Part of me thinks they're doing it on purpose, but I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me, only just for the shits and giggles. The dude looks like Super Mario. Labrat says because early on Italians came to Mexico and started families with the locals. That's not.
That would make sense. That makes a lot of sense.
That's not the reason, Labrat. God damn it. So a lot of Hispanics have Italian roots. Yeah, if you're from Argentina or Uruguay, they have all got fucking Italian roots because a lot of Italians migrated there after World War II. But that Mexican thing that you're talking about, come on, dude. That's not how it started. It's because of ancient times, really. The Roman Empire, for example. Have you heard the term the Romanist languages, which came from Rome, and that's how Spanish.
Yeah,
Latin. It all comes back to Latin, basically.
I remember being taught in foreign languages, like middle school, like the two main language trees, Romanic and Germanic.
Yeah, well, yeah. In America, actually, funny enough, the biggest, which is surprising in some ways. Here we go. We're going to school now, folks. The biggest migration thing in America was not Anglo-Saxons. It was actually Germans. most Americans have got German roots, like a lot of them. You're from one of those families. What's Labrat? Is your last name Italian? I mean, it could be for you, but that's not how Spanish started, though. Technically, but it all comes back to Latin. It's because of Latin. That's how it branched off, basically. It's the same. You know, Romanians and Moldovans speak also a form of Latin, a Romanance language. But anyway, we can go into all sorts of things about shit like that. But yeah, look, there could be this reason. Look, it's the same thing as with Greeks in Italy that speak a version of Greek Italian because of Greeks being there in ancient times, right? So I get what you're trying to say, but the whole Spanish language didn't start from that, though, basically. But anyway, I don't want to go there right now, but we can go back and forth. I'll get back to you on that, Labrat, because now we're up to the back. We see Vito talking to his crew and Yabo in the back. Vito asks if Sally is sick. Sally says 5 guys beat him up. Vito says he saw Vinny picking him up and says he got jacked up by Ronald.
Basically, Vito's saying, you're not bullshitting me. I saw security footage.
Right. He got jacked up by Ronald McDonald. Vito says that they make him sick and he's tired of picking up their pieces. He goes on to say that Yabo is for Yabo to shut up and listen. He tells Yabo to shut up and Violent Jane next week, or he won't see his brother ever again.
So basically, yeah, next week's going to be Yabo versus Violent J, and
or
Vito kind of sort of says, if you do not beat the shit out of Violent J, I'm going to kill your brother, and give him the kiss of death.
You know what that means? Capiche. Actually, capisci. Capisci. Sally says capisci. I've never heard anything say capisci. What's up with capisci?
You got me, pal.
Capisci. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. They're taking the piss. Yeah. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, that's basically what I said. That was it.
Main event with EC3's final opponent, which is also happens to be Joel Gertner's guy, who has now finally come.
I hate hearing that every time Joel Gertner says something like that. He sure did come into JCW, I guess.
I just made a mess, pal. Get me the magic socks.
I thought he looked like a certain someone, but when we were talking off the air, you hit the nail on the head. Please explain who he reminds you of, actually.
He straight up reminded me of Sid, like a little bit more leaner, more, thinner Sid, but still like the blonde curly hair, not quite a mullet, but still tall, jacked, the leather vest, and the fact that he came out to a knockoff of White China.
I love that song, by the way. The White China song is just a classic song, and he did come out, and that's what made me think, you know what? It did sound like White China, and then when you mentioned Sid, I'm like, damn, he does look like Sid now. So I think about it. To me, you remind me of a jacked Bobby Eaton.
Yeah, Jack Bobby Eaton, yeah.
Both.
How about, if Sid and Bobby Eaton ever had like their DNA mixed and they had a child, that'd be Josh Bishop.
Oh my God. Now, I don't know nothing about this guy, but do you know anything about him? Like, who is he?
I know I just know he's a big name on the indies. I have not known much about him other than that.
He was a big white. Say that last bit again.
Oh, name on the indies.
Man, he looks fucking good, bro.
Dude, yeah, he looks like somebody like Vince McMahon would have wanted to have back today.
How the hell is this guy not signed to any major company yet? I mean, he doesn't look young. He doesn't really look that young. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, probably. I'd have to guess late 30s.
And if that's the case, again, I'm gonna ask, why the hell isn't he signed up? Could it be some negative backlash towards him? Like he's, just hard to work with?
It's the wrestling business. Like all it takes is one person who doesn't like him saying something to the right person. It grows up the flagpole, and then it's a shutdown. That's all it takes.
I can see people legitimately being jealous of him, dude. Just look at him.
Yeah, like dude, that dude looks like a star, like a monster. Like you see that dude walking through the airport. You're like, who's this dude?
Man,
somebody. Who is he?
I was impressed. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? I don't know nothing about him. We just mentioned who it reminds us of. I'm looking forward to what the future holds with this guy. There's not much about him online. I want to know, do you think JCW have signed him up for the long term?
Possibly, potentially, I don't know. Because you could be going back and forth between, here and you could be going to work with MLW too. Who knows? Well, also other indies. So again, could be a one-off, could be a permanent thing. We're not sure.
Well, I haven't actually seen him in
the fact that he goes over EC3 in this. Well, to be fair, the way he's built up, EC3, he's come off of he's already exhausted from Tour of Canada, and that's to wrestle 3 matches tonight, and then he's had nothing left in the tank.
And that's fair enough. If you had EC3 win this, it would be ridiculous. Let's be real now, right?
Right, and plus EC3 it was protected because, again, coming off that tour, he already wrestled twice that night, and now he's got to go against a monster like this dude. Yeah,
he looked good, man. I'm not gonna lie. He's impressive. He did get the win. It was a pretty strong win, and I'm excited to see where this goes, man, moving forward. That's true. I agree there, Brett. But why would they make such a big deal for 43 weeks for a one-off? I agree. Let's hope it stays that way, or 3 weeks. I know, I got you. Don't worry. 43 weeks. I haven't even been watching the show for 43 weeks, I don't think. But anyway, in saying that, what do you think of the show overall?
I thought it was a good show. They did a good job of hyping. Oh, wait. We still had a couple of things afterwards.
Oh, yes, we did. So let me get back to it.
We had 2 cliffhangers.
We did. I forgot to mention again. But if you want to continue on, do you want me to read it out, or do you want to
Yeah, we did. So we had a Mac Davis being the perv that he's been trying to looking like, showing up in the women's bathroom for interviews. And then he finds Big Al, who rightfully just tells him to piss off. And Big Al was great in this. The way she just
she's so good, bro.
Flings soap and water at him, like, get the fuck out of here. And then the way the horror movie shot of Hokane, like she does the whole Jason.
Oh yes, the Wrath of Hokane.
And she pops up, does the whole Jason, Michael Myers head tilt thing, yeah. And then just lays out Big Al. He's mine.
I mean, who is Hokane exactly? Is she anyone in particular that we know of?
Not that we know of, no. But let's just say that I did when she said he's mine, I detected a little bit of an accent that sounded like came from a little bit south of the border, possibly. Who knows?
Good point. She does come across like that. I wouldn't surprise me. It'd be funny if she talks full-blown Spanish to him. If you know what I mean. It'd be absolutely hilarious. Plus, maybe she's the connect, really, to his hookup from Colombia or some shit. You know what I mean? Because didn't they say he's from Colombia?
There you go. There's the hookup.
Yeah, she's the plug, or the daughter of the plug.
Oh, because she wants to get with it, because she's like, hey, I got all these connections down here to these cartels. That's why you want to be with me, because I got your hookup.
Otherwise, you're fucked, motherfucker. You know what I mean?
And if you say no, all you do is snap my fingers and the cartel's coming after you.
Oh, shit. You don't want that shit, that's for sure.
But hey, who knows? That's just one idea. That's just one thought.
It has to be, dude. Come on. It's got to be. You got to go down that way. Hopefully they thinking like that.
And that's where you bring Big Al in. Big Al is the one who takes care of the Hokane situation, whereas then lets Cocaine take care of the dealers and the male dealers.
Oh my god! And then that's how somehow do you think the zombies even come into play with their connect and their junkies now, and somehow it all connects.
Yeah, because they kicked the habit and there was backup.
Right, you know what I mean. And then you can even bring in the Vito thing. Man, you can connect all of it now. In a way, like when you think about it.
Yeah, the Italian Colombian mafia cartel connection. I like that. But
fuck, imagine that. you know what? It just blew my mind because if that's what they're doing, that is great booking, like smart sort of thing. We could be way off, but it makes sense though if they were doing that.
We're just putting like pieces together that would make sense. Not that we know where they're going. It's just like, okay, looking at the characters and where things are going, like, okay, these pieces would fit.
Yeah, it would. It just makes sense. Labrat though thinks that it would be Mickey or Pondo is the dealer.
I could see Mickey.
Oh God.
Pondo, man, he has not been. I think as a shoot, he got fired and let go. My opinion, because we have not seen him since that thing where he tried to run down Mosh Pit Mike. And he's not been on TV since. That was like months ago.
Months ago. And they haven't even brought it up since, which is odd. But again, that's what happens, unfortunately, with these type of companies and holding on to talent and whatnot. But hopefully, what we're talking about.
But the last shot we had was Barnabas sniffing the hoodie, being like, "No, I haven't smelled that scent in years. It can't be you. It can't be you." And I gotta throw this out there because I was listening to the latest Zero Metrics Mucho Opinions, where Vince sat out, and it was Jeff and Barnabas, and they talked about how they're gonna start exploring Barnabas' backstory and his history coming up. So I'm wondering, is this like the first step into it?
You can go so many ways. Never seen that both returning blue sweaters. The blue sweater, man.
So yeah, I'm wondering, is the dealer somebody from Barnabas' past that he thought he'd never see again?
Now, I don't know enough of his history to know who that person might be.
The thing is, they haven't explained his history. So this is kind of like the breadcrumb to start explaining it.
Or could they be doing what AEW is guilty of and just expect you to know the history? You know how they do that shit in AEW? I doubt
this is something different. I think this is them starting to get into Barnabas' backstory. Like, we've seen him as, like, you know, kind of the carnival barker, the ringmaster for the Outbreak. Now we're starting to go in. Now we're going to start seeing, okay, what's this dude's history? How did he get here? And I think this is the first step of somebody from his past showing up and being the dealer for the Outbreak.
Interesting. Well, look, either way, it leaves me excited to see what goes on in the future.
They'll definitely explain. Like, they will absolutely go over that backstory.
I know, because especially with Vince Russo, one of his pet peeves obviously was the fact that AEW doesn't explain shit, and they expect everyone to know automatically what the fuck is going on. Unfortunately,
whereas whereas with Russo's writing, he'll tease a backstory, breadcrumb, and then explain the backstory.
Right, exactly. So they're not going to go that way where they just do shit for the hell of it. Obviously, they'll actually explain themselves, which is the right way to go. So,
right, like with the Brothers of Construction, like, okay, we've seen them as clowns for how many years? Okay, here's the backstory of they're clowns because they're actually part of the Vito's Luciano, part of the Luciano family with Vito, and Witness Protection sold them out, and that's why they're clowns. Vito's now found them, and that's why we're at where we're at now.
Well, and we were saying that before it even happened. Remember we were saying, imagine they go down the fucking mafia route where they're not clowns anymore and they're completely like normal, and that's exactly what they did. So we did see that, like we foreshadowed that weeks before it actually happened. And Labrat, I've brought up the James Mitchell thing 100 times, but if it was James Mitchell,
I will. If it's James Mitchell, I'll pop. That would be
perfect. We need the red jacket though. If you found a red jacket, not a blue hoodie, then you'd say James Mitchell 100%. Like,
dude, I was listening. I forgot what interview it was. I was listening to James Mitchell. You know where he got the red jacket from?
I think I know this story, but I can't remember. Fill me in.
Richard Pryor.
I think I've heard that story. How did he get his hands on through Richard Pryor though?
No, I mean it's the idea of wearing a red jacket.
Oh, okay. I thought he actually got it.
Pryor.
Right. That makes sense. But he's not a comedian. That's the problem.
Right, but still, it was a good look.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of James Mitchell, except he fucked up for NWA, if you know. I'm not saying it's his fault because it wasn't, probably.
No, the blame for that lands on Billy Corgan because he
100%.
greenlit that to air.
Shot himself right in the foot, but it happens, I guess. That's pro wrestling for you, man. But in saying that, Brando, let's take it home. If you had to give this show out of 5 face slaps, what would you give it?
I'd give it an 8. It was a nice solid 8.
Good show. Oh, damn it. Thank you, Josh. 15. Damn. That's nothing, though, compared to 29 a few days ago. But anyway, I'm going to tune into that now, though, and I want to watch a soccer at 1 o'clock my time. A show against Turkey, yeah. Hopefully they beat the Turks. But anyway, also, Brendan, tell them what you're up to and what you're doing, man.
See, once you go off the air here, shit, I'm not sure how much left of AAA. I'm not sure how much left of AAA is left.
It's only an hour show, right? We
only
went
an
a
hour
little
show,
bit longer,
damn.
though. Yeah, sorry, man. We did go a bit longer and a bit later because I had to do a few things, man. But
that's all good. Plus, to be fair, I also started going off on tangents too. So
why?
No, I mean,
no. On this show, no. Look, we hadn't been together for a couple of weeks, so we had a lot to talk about too, man. These are longer shows than usual as well. You know, sometimes we do go long. It's rare. Usually we're done within 45 to an hour, but we went over an hour 30, and there was a lot to talk about. To be fair.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah, Jason did give us a lot to talk about.
Absolutely, 100%. And I agree also, as Josh said, I'll give it an 8 as well out of 10. I thought it was one of the better shows, compared to the last few weeks even. I didn't watch the previous 2 weeks, so I don't know how good they were. But, yeah. Labra says, I think AAA is on its main event. Well, technically, you could start from the start again.
I could rewind, yeah.
Yeah, so it's up to you if
it's
you'll
on
do it
YouTube. Yeah, fuck it. We'll do a replay watch along. Fuck it.
I mean, it's the same thing essentially. But Labra says, "Well, good show. Thank you, Labra." 8 Fagos as well. He says, actually, we should be giving it a Fago score probably. I hate Fago just quietly. I don't like it. I've had a few of them. I don't know, man.
I can't comment. I've never had Fago, even though I actually should try it because there are a few places nearby me where they do sell it. I should give it a try. It's
like a real candy sort of flavors. They're really like, I don't know, man. I'm not into them, but maybe you would be. They're all right, but I don't know. But in saying that,
I'll get the diet flavor just to be safe.
Is it diet Fagos? I've never seen them.
I'm sure they got a diet Fago.
I swear I've never seen diet Fagos, man. If there is, let me know. But if you do get one, please tell me. Get me Fago dogs. Yeah. Yeah, pal. Well, in saying that, I am Jimmy T. He is Whoop Whoop Brandon. You've been listening and watching the most craziest local show on the whole World Wide Webs. It is HMG Insanity, your JCW Lunacy review show, live right here on Hammy Media Group's YouTube channel, and of course on the Patreon after the fact. Till next time, peace out, much love, and thank you for joining us. Peace.